Yeah, Dave, excited for this webinar. I know it's been talked about a good amount. A lot of requests about having this webinar. What are you most excited to share today?
Just the company's ongoing success story. I
Hmm.
mean, I've been in this industry. This is, I mean, I came right out of college and got involved with the environmental um, science contracting industry. I think, the opportunities out there right now are at a level we haven't seen before.
Hmm.
And, we see a tremendous potential moving forward. And I think that as we go through the pitch deck, the PowerPoint, I think people are going to see what we're living right now. I mean, we are literally working day and night. I mean, we do a day shift, and then we'll switch over and we'll do a night shift. And presently, we're in two locations in California, but both offices are just absolutely slammed. And it's a good problem to have, but we just had a visitor to the office that came in, and she says, "Why do you guys look so stressed out?" And I was trying to, couldn't explain her anything because I was so busy getting ready for this.
Yeah.
But Grace, who you've met many times, was actually trying to explain to her that, it's pretty much nonstop over here.
Yeah.
And it's a healthy environment. Everybody's excited about the opportunities that we have right now. Um, it seems like we're adding new customers and new opportunities every day right now, literally. And that's what excites me. Like I said, I've been an entrepreneur since I was in my 20s,
Hmm.
and now I'm an old guy. So I literally grew up as an entrepreneur in this industry, back and I don't want to overly date myself, but in the 80s, before you were even born, and probably some of the other people on this call were even born. And I work for a company called International Technology. And IT was the first legitimate environmental consulting company in America. And we owned our own landfills in the middle of California. And we had a corporate headquarters in Torrance, and then a satellite office in Irvine. And so that was what I did right out of college. And, I've stayed in the industry ever since. So what am I most excited about? I think that what I'm most excited about is just this business, this industry. We've talked a lot about, investment opportunities and where the future is. And I can't think of a brighter investment opportunity that has more potential than one, the environment, and two, infrastructure. So, I'm anxious to share where we're at as a company and where we're going um, as an industry, and how Summit's been able to rally into that marketplace with the success that we've had in the last literally 10 years, but more so in the last 12 months. And in particular, since we've started this fundraising campaign in the last 2 months. So it's been a pretty wild ride, and I'm extremely excited as the CEO and the owner of the company, but I know my staff is in both offices are equally excited as I am. So yeah, so I know it's a long-winded answer to a simple question, but I mean it's a great situation right now. And I feel like I'm absolutely up for the challenge with respect to uh, fulfilling my role as the primary owner and CEO of the company. They always talk about whoever makes the less mistakes wins in business, and if your mistakes that you're making are smaller than your successes, then you're going to be successful.
Hmm.
And having seen pretty much everything that I've seen in the last 30 years, I think I'm perfectly positioned to lead the company to the next level, if you will. Um, so I think that's kind of it in a nutshell. We've done this before. I've actually been fortunate enough to put together a similar business early on in my career, build it up, and then we flipped it to a company that ultimately took it public. And so I've had that opportunity to see the entire process from start to finish in a successful exit, as they say. And that was one, very rewarding, two, very exciting, and three, very educational, if you will. So I know the steps that are required to provide the maximum return on investment for our investment community and the people that believe in what we're doing. Our marketplace is all about, we're primarily focused on building infrastructure. And I know I have a pitch deck to go through, but just to kind of lead into that, our primary focus has been in supporting the infrastructure industry, the modernization of our infrastructure. And yes, there's a huge market, there's a huge bill out there right now, a $1 trillion government funding bill that's out there right now. However, that doesn't define what we're doing. This industry has been exploding for a decade. As our transportation system wears out, it's just natural. And as more people show up in our country, it's just natural to expand and modernize our infrastructure. So and Summit has been right in the middle of that for a while now, for many years. And what our primary focus is removing the environmental contaminants from these infrastructure projects so that the workers can safely work. And there's billions of dollars of infrastructure going on every month throughout the country, and in particular in California, where we're focused. And the sources of contamination are prevalent due to prior use of the construction footprint, if you will, but also a large part of what we do is removing what they call aerial deposited lead. And aerial deposited lead was created by auto emissions from 1920 to 1970. And you may be thinking, well, okay, it hasn't been used in 40 years, 50 years. Unfortunately, lead is not a mobile chemical, so it's settled everywhere. It's settled on every roadway, every freeway, every railroad, every transportation network. So we've removed almost 50,000 tons of aerial deposited lead in the last 3 years. And our mission is to remove 100,000 tons of aerial deposited lead in 2022. So, and we've got the contracts currently to support that, and ultimately we'll get to that slide. But the secondary opportunity there is that, okay, by removing this contamination, we're protecting our groundwater supply and our drinking water supply. We're removing pollution from the communities, which is protecting the families, the children, and our way of life. And then also in conjunction with that, by modernizing the freeways, we're lowering the carbon emissions. So it's very difficult to convey that message on a funding campaign page, if you will. It really needs to be talked through in educational, from an educational standpoint, in presentations like this. So, that's the great opportunity that I have today, to convey that message. Our positioning as a company and our purpose is to use every single tool, every single resource we have to protect and clean our environment and provide all these secondary, meaningful solutions as we go. And it's a great purpose, and I'm totally committed to the industry, as is our staff, and as are the owners of these properties we're cleaning. As are the contractors that are building out these transportation systems. We do a large amount of cleanup for bike paths, for bridges, railroads, freeways, airports, seaports. All these things are vital to our way of life. We just can't expect to to live with the lifestyle that we have in this country without improving things. I mean, the population isn't going to shrink, but if we can convert the number of combustion engine cars to electric cars, and if we can add carpool lanes so that you can have multiple cars traveling, multiple people traveling in a car at the same time, which is also an electric carpool lane. If we can, like I said, if we can add to the bike paths, these are all ongoing projects. I mean, we've done 6 bike path projects in the last 2 years. And you may be thinking, well, why is there contamination on a bike path? The majority of these bike paths are being built alongside railroads. So the entire area that's being constructed is contaminated. So we'll go in there and we'll remove all the contamination so the bike paths can be built. It's a great purpose. You know, it's a great mission statement for Summit. And also, you know, we've created an extremely profitable business while growing the company. You know, we're not doing this for free. You know, we're doing this. We're a for-profit company, and I don't want to come across as being inappropriate, but I mean that's just what we're in this industry for. So we're actually advancing the transportation system, protecting the communities and families, and protecting our drinking water supply, all in one mission statement.